Bloomberg Audio Studios.
Podcasts, radio, news.
Single best idea on a Friday, an odd Friday. The year starts Thursday, Friday. Get into a weekend. Michael Barr's got to see what Vikings-Lions do. And then the year, I guess, really starts on Monday, except nobody bothered to tell the markets. We had the Tesla shortfall in unit sales. We had a buoyancy to the tape before that. Sell-off on Thursday. We'll see what happens on Friday. As we speak now, we're up, but I don't trust it. And we'll have to see on that into the beginning of 2025. What we know for certain is the dollar is front and center. I've really made a mission with our team of bookers to really do better on foreign exchange and what it means for people that wouldn't know euro yen from euro Swissy. And the answer is you need good conversation. Here with the economist Neil Dutta. Neil Dutta on the stronger U.S. dollar and the American economy.
When you have like 1% currency moves, that's a big deal, right? I mean, so I think the dollar's concerning across multiple dimensions. I mean, number one, obviously it weighs on U.S. exporters, particularly manufacturing. That's number one. Number two, going back to the equity market discussion, it weighs on earnings, right? Particularly for tech companies that are global in nature. And because that's been a big driver of U.S. stock prices, I think the fact that the dollar's been strengthening is going to weigh on earnings and, by extension, weigh on stocks.
A treatment there from an economist on the U.S. dollar. Neil Dutta, of course, just incredibly optimistic 2 years ago when so few were, and now with some real caution on the American economy, just lining up the labor economy, the view out. Certainly he's moved away from optimism to a realism of the growth of post-pandemic America. We spoke to a foreign exchange pro, Kit Juckes, truly iconic. I don't use the word often. Iconic at Société Générale. SocGen is out of Paris, and they take an immense pride in their derivative mathematics, their study of the financial dynamics of the market, and wrapped around that is his authoritative coverage of foreign exchange. He knows that within the broad study of foreign exchange, there's the dynamics and various of interest rates between two countries, but separately the flows of capital as well. Money's been flowing to America. Kit Juckes of SocGen.
In my world, the flow story is the long-term vulnerability. I mean, the value of U.S. assets that's held by foreigners is more than $21 trillion more than the value of foreign assets held by Americans. And that number blows my mind. So, but you can see what it is. Treasury yields are higher, the growth is stronger, the equity market's fantastic. All the other equity markets in the world appear to be set to close so that we just have one exchange called America or whatever. So I see that flow as sucking in all the world's excess savings from the countries that do, allowing the U.S. to finance this fantastic growth.
Kit Juckes with SocGen. I want to take a moment here and talk about this podcast. We invented this after I studied the podcast business and saw fabulous podcasts like The Big Take or Odd Lots, all, the hundreds and hundreds of people doing this. And they're all like 15 minutes, 20 minutes, 25 minutes. And, I sat with my senior producer on this, Brockton. He's very good at telling me no. And I said, I really need to do a 30-minute podcast. And his eyes crossed over and Brockton said, no, that's wicked dumb. And so we're not doing that. What we're doing is 2 insights, sometimes 3, of the show and of the many conversations. And what I love about it is each and every day, it's very hard to pick out the 2 most worthy insights. Today, obviously, we did a theme on foreign exchange. We hope to build out this podcast as a bolt-on to your podcast listening each and every day. You've got David Gura that you have to listen to, and Tracy, the other guy who's with Tracy? Weisenthal, Joe, the stalwart. Joe Weisenthal and Tracy and many other podcasts out there from other news organizations. And we look at this as just a small 4-minute vignette. We're on YouTube podcasts. That's the best way to get us. Single best idea.